The world Knud Johan Victor Rasmussen was born into on June 7, 1879, was the vast, sparsely populated coast of central western Greenland. Rasmussen's boyhood home was the parsonage of the town of Jakobshavn, now known as Ilulissat. Inhabited by only a few hundred people, Jakobshavn was then the largest settlement in northern Greenland. It offered an unparalleled training ground, both culturally and geographically, for a future Arctic explorer. Bounded by the frigid waters of Disco Bay to the west and the unexplored Greenland ice sheet to the east, it was a land of growling ice and fog in the low hills. Disco Bay is one of the world's main sources of icebergs, which carve from the mighty glaciers of the Greenland ice sheet and congregate in their aquamarine brilliance before drifting off south. There were no roads through the endless snow plains beyond the town. Rugged and unconquered, it was a place of few social constraints, but it demanded ceaseless toil to survive. Travel between the isolated settlements that dotted the coastline was by sailboat in the brief summer and by dog sled the rest of the year. The haunting spectre of starvation and death by exposure was a constant and real threat. Not a forgiving land or an easy one to survive in, it was nevertheless a land of raw vitality, with endless possibilities for the curious and restless to explore. Greenland, the largest island in the world at about 836,300 square miles, is bounded by the Atlantic Ocean to the southeast, the Greenland Sea to the east, the Arctic Ocean to the north, and Baffin Bay to the west. About 80% of the land is covered by an enormous inland ice sheet up to 2 miles thick, and the island's average temperatures are similar to those in Arctic North America. In January, the range is between -4 degrees and -22 degrees Fahrenheit, -20 degrees and -30 degrees Celsius in the north, warming to a little above freezing in the short, brilliant summer. In the south, winter temperatures range between 25 degrees and -4 degrees Fahrenheit, -4 degrees and -20 degrees Celsius, and rise to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 degrees Celsius in summer. The island has been inhabited intermittently for thousands of years by people migrating east from Ellesmere Island and the Canadian Arctic archipelago. Norse voyagers arrived from Iceland in the west in the 10th century during the Great Scandinavian Expansion, and settled along the southwest coast during a warm period that lasted until the 15th century. The Greenland Norse were a European farming and livestock culture made famous by the sagas of Eric the Red and Leif the Lucky.